Hey guys, I just had my consultation today for post-op. Drains did not get to come out this week. They will come out next week. And while I am making this video, I want to address what happens to be a very common and very avoidable problem. Don't allow your doctor to wrap you too tight. I understand compression is needed. Compression is 100% needed to heal from this surgery. But my surgeon wrapped me too damn tight. Before I even finished the appointment, I had to be loosened because I couldn't breathe and it hurt my ribs too much. When I got home, I had to be totally rewrapped because I could feel my ribs bruising again. And I just got another bruise on my right side of my ribs 2 days ago that I was nursing last night. And I just got it kind of sort of where it's tolerable when I went in for my appointment today, and then they wrapped me again, and oh my god, it fucking hurt. I told him not to wrap me too tight, and just do not allow your doctors to wrap you too tight. You can cause lots of injuries. You can also move fluid into places that it doesn't need to be moved into. Like, I had a pocket of fluid under this arm from the surgical binder that shouldn't have fucking been there because the surgical binder pushed the fluid up, over, and out. And that's not good. So even if it's your doctor or your surgeon who wrapped you, don't fucking trust them. My advice would be is if your pain, while you're taking your meds, if your pain is more than a 3 from your wrappings, you're too tight. You will cause some bruising on your ribs, breathing problems, and one of the things that I had a major problem with was I couldn't digest food. That I was wrapped so fucking tightly, I could not digest food, and I was throwing up. So it's everybody's pain tolerance is different. Don't let your surgeon wrap you too tightly. If he's gonna wrap you too tight, the minute you get home, you rewrap it to where it's compressing, but it's not too much. I don't want to see any more trans people getting bruised or cracked ribs because of the way they've been wrapped, or having complications because they were wrapped too tightly, because this can push fluid around, and you don't want fluid being pushed around. You want it pushed out. Make a nice even compression on the parts that need the compression. Like, this keeps slipping down on me. This is actually a little too low. It shouldn't be hitting this part of me at all, but I can't really keep it up. It really needs to be like up here, and it just does not want to stay. So readjusting your bindings is basically like your number one priority while healing. Is making sure that these are not going to hurt you. Because I've actually heard some pretty bad stories about how people have complications from their wrappings, and I totally understand why. Our ribs are already weak from binding for however many years before we were binding for. And especially mine. Mine can't fucking take pressure anymore. I can't even wear a bra anymore because of how painful it is to have pressure on my ribs. Even when it's well-fitting in the loosest snap, could not fucking take it. Even something as thin as pantyhose was too much pressure on my ribs. And about 15 minutes in something like pantyhose material started hurting on me. So our ribs are sensitive. I don't think surgeons and doctors totally understand that because they haven't been through the experience of binding their chest for years. So don't allow your doctor to wrap you too tightly. Go based on your pain tolerance level and what you personally are experiencing for the best healing results. Now, if I had kept this on as tightly as the surgeon said, I might have been able to get my drains out today. I also would have had massively bruised ribs, which would have been way more painful than my entire surgery. And that's not something that I wanted to go through. So next week, with the way that I wrap it, as tightly as I wrap it, not as tightly as they wrap it, is when my drains should be coming out, and I'm actually healing rather well. I'm I'm healing really, really, really well compared to a lot of things that I have seen and stories I have heard, and like when you go from best case scenario to worst case scenario, best case scenario is drains come out in a week. Worst case scenario I've heard is drains come out after 6 weeks. And that's probably due to a lack of care based on what you personally can tolerate. I mean, drain tubes can get blocked, causes an inability to drain. You could be wrapped too damn tightly and cause a whole host of other problems. Just be smart about your recovery. Me personally, my pain threshold, I can't do anything worse than a constant 3. Anything worse than a constant 3 is too damn much for me, and that would be my main recommendation for anyone who is healing for surgery is make sure you manage your pain in the way it needs to be managed. When this was wrapped by the surgeon, my pain was a constant 5 or 6. I cannot deal with that, and I had problems caused because it was wrapped too damn tight. And the last week, I've been healing great because of the way I wrapped myself. I was only in that surgical binder for a day, and I couldn't stand being wrapped by the surgeon for more than an hour. So be very aware of your own healing process and your own pain tolerance. The doctor or surgeon cannot feel what you are experiencing. So take an active role, be safe, be careful, manage your own pain, make sure you're healing properly. If your drains have to stay in an extra week or two because of how loosely wrapped you have to be, so fucking be it. Alright, this is too long a video. I hope I can upload it. Bye.